it kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Butter. Gotta go lefty.
No, we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion into the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Down Lane Podcast. We are streaming live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes. I'm your host, Kyle Haines, and with me is the assistant to the host, Anthony Scaccia.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Apparently, I get too close to the mic, so I'm going to talk from back here.
Yeah, we had a chat, or early season chat with Anthony about mic etiquette.
I just like to lean in. I don't feel like I can
settle.
I just don't feel like I can. I don't like it. I feel like I need to be.
I don't know what to do
I
with
feel
my
like I have
hands.
to be this close, and now I'm whispering. So I don't know what we're gonna do today, but we're here. It's Thursday. Sorry, guys. And yeah.
Welcome, Austin. How's it going?
Is it Thursday?
It's Thursday.
If I lean farther back and
Thursday.
then lean in.
Sit farther back and lean in?
Yeah.
All right, so tonight we got some big things to talk about. Anthony's headed to the regional this weekend. We got to talk about the PBA League, which starts practice session tomorrow night. So we'll talk about that with some more big news that was just released either today or yesterday or something about Billy O. So we'll get to all that. We'll chat with you guys. So get any feedback or things you guys want to talk about into the chat, and we'll talk with you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Email us and head to our Etsy shop and check out some of our merch on there. But before we get to all of the stuff we have to talk about tonight, how'd you guys do this week?
How'd I do in what?
I don't know. How was your week? What'd you guys do? What was up?
So I bowled Monday, bad. Bowled Tuesday, worse. Well, I mean, I scored well. Wednesday, I did have a little session by myself at 9. Can you hear me, Austin? I just feel like I'm so far away. I had a session last night for about 45 minutes, and within 7 minutes, I found out what I was doing. And I made 2 new thumbs because I thought it was my thumb, but it was not. So I don't know. I feel like I'm doing all right. Tomorrow, we're going to find out.
Big
Saturday,
practice session tomorrow.
hoping to shoot 200. One game.
We'll get to that in a minute with the regional. But we did get an email this week from follower Mike. He listens to the podcast or watches on YouTube. I'm not sure, didn't mention. But we had a whole big discussion last week about ball reviews and how, I kind of think they're a little pointless. And one of our discussion points was about how, maybe there should be more types of players that throw the ball to see different releases and angles. And then you had mentioned a chart. So he's like, yeah, bowling this month does all that. They have a chart. They have multiple angles. And then I said, hey, guys, check this out. And he's like, I know. Anthony goes,
Yeah,
I know.
Anthony was holding out on
Yeah,
us.
and I'm like,
I forgot about
well, thanks, bud. Thanks for the information, you freaking idiot. Like, what? Where were you?
Well, I'm not saying I'm the brightest crayon in the box, but I
He's a
completely,
shade. There's a shade in there that fits you.
Yeah, it's called gray.
I completely forgot that there is a graph
Yeah.
thingy.
It is.
and,
It's like $43 a month.
I was going
But
to say, the real question is,
yeah, but you
did
get a
subscribe?
you get a subscription to like the magazine, and
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some other stuff.
I'm sure it's very beneficial.
Absolutely. I don't have it, and I forgot about it. I tried to look it up. I tried to look it up the other day when we were talking about balls or something like that, and then it gave us like you need to sign in. I'm like, I don't have that. So
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just wanted to mention to the people, if they were looking for
That
a
you screwed up?
place to go to, that Bowling This Month does have them. If you want to subscribe to a publication that actually puts the effort in to multiple angles, multiple releases. Are you about to clap? and they do the ball chart that you were referencing.
Hey now, Dan Rizzo.
Dan Rizzo, what's up?
Which one?
No, we're leaving our shirts on, man. Please.
Kyle is he gets sweaty in here, so it
Hey,
might
we
be
all
first.
bowled this weekend.
We did.
Oh, you guys remember
First
that?
tournament club event.
Yeah,
Forgot about that. It was dreadful.
really.
I
Bad.
had fun. I don't know what
Well,
you're
we all had fun. Well, I had fun anyway, but I bowled terrible.
I shot 120.
that same game. I missed the cut because of a pocket 8-10 first shot in the 10th.
I will actually, I ended up having to tape my hand this week because my wrist is extremely hurting.
You taped your hand. I taped my shoe.
Kyle shoe broke.
My boa blew out. Mid
Dexter, if you're watching.
mid plant step.
Kyle
Send
went
new
on the
shoes,
lane.
Dexter.
AJ,
what's up?
I didn't do your ball yet. Dan is bad influence, and yeah. But yeah,
that was my first bad. And I
Experience.
bowl a lot, and that was my first bad day with a boa. I don't bowl every day, but
Would you
I
get it
bowl
again?
more than the average person.
Give the people. Would you get it again?
So here's the thing. I do carry, or I thought I carried a pair of laces in my bag to try to thread the tiny little
It's not gonna
areas.
work.
I know. But basically all I did is I took some
They're
tape.
like a pinhole big.
What's up, James? I know. So I just
What do you use? Paper clips?
but basically what I did was I was still able to push it down and crank it. They would still tighten, but they would just blow open. So, like, of course, it was during my plant step. So it was like the most vital step where you would push off and slide. And so all I did was tighten it down and tape it, and it was good the rest of the day. But I think ultimately maybe go back to
Rated
ties.
shoelaces.
Yeah, to laces, because it's just too much of an unknown. And you had a bad experience right at nationals.
To
But
be
those
fair,
weren't boas; those were the off brand.
A-tops.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had a little snafu, but also they are different than the boa. So, what's up, Matt? Nick is home taking a nap. Whatever it is, it was going bad. I ended up getting replaced out there. I got a whole new shoe. It was all good in the hood, and I kept the same shoe. I won't switch shoes. I don't care. I just don't like laces anymore. Too much effort to tie, especially when I can go in the back and I gotta go here. So I'm just gonna.
Oh my god!
Just gonna turn them.
Too much effort
I
to
will-
tie your shoes.
I will say, I see Anthony take his shoes off more than any bowler in the bowling alley.
You
Oh
guys
well,
do
there's
the
that.
both,
The
so, like,
whole whipping your shoe off
Yeah.
to run into the back and stuff.
it's
Yeah.
very convenient.
When I go down back, I don't take my shoe off. I take the
Well,
risk.
So I took the risk and I got grease all over my shoe on Sunday, which was another reason I was probably cranky and was not really caring and shot 120.
Oh, I didn't even notice you were cranky. I thought it was one of
wasn't-
your best
I don't think he's
performances for
I
going
didn't
down
see
back
cranky.
and not being cranky.
Oh, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I figured it out, and then I was coming back up. I'm like, man, my shoe is really slippery. And I look on my stopper shoe, and it's just covered in grease.
Nice.
And I was like, well,
Sucks to be the other bowlers.
this is good. No, because I wiped
Didn't
it off
affect
before I
me.
got there. Because I was it was the last game though.
I
Yeah.
was,
Last game, and I was also in the carpet. So
I was
wiped it
far
off.
enough left that ain't
Oh, you might have
nobody gonna
touched it,
affect me.
But I will say, still speaking about the shoe, I did not like the Dexters that I had, the C9s. I was not a fan from the very beginning. They came in a half or a whole size too big. Like I ordered the 10s and they felt like 11s from day one. I had to buy inserts for them just to make them feel somewhat comfortable. And that's the problem. That's the problem with bowling in general. One of the problems with bowling in general is that in the old days, you could go to a Dexter store and you could try on shoes and they would fit. Now you have to order them and hope that they fit.
To be fair,
Or you have to
some
return them and
shops
wait
and
another
stuff.
week or
I
two.
could-
Yeah.
I could probably have a demo pair, but I'd only get one shoe size.
Right. So
So I would have to get 10s, and you're the most average person there is.
Does
So
Dexter
kind of, but
sell their own foot measurement tool?
I mean, I got this guy.
you get the lens.
Well, I'm wondering
But still,
if,
the point
if
is
Dexter's-
you shouldn't be that far off in your
Well,
size.
no, you're right
But-
there, but
Well, on top of that they run super hot. The shoe, like my feet
no,
were
it's
hot
not you.
from day one.
It's not you doing any athleticism or athletic moves. It's the shoe is hot.
No, I'm just saying from when I wore 3Gs to that shoe, they felt way hotter. I'm just saying.
the 3Gs,
So you went from mesh or from leather to mesh, and you're saying
And
the
it
mesh
felt
was
hotter. I'm telling you. And
Well,
when
they
I
were
when I
knit.
put the cooling inserts in, way better. Way
Cooling
better.
inserts.
I swear to God. Yeah.
You gonna buy me a pair of those? I need them. I'll pay you back.
You can have the ones that I just used for a year.
That's a little weird.
So what shoe company is going to put a fan built in the shoe
Ooh.
first?
So they did that with football helmets.
Really?
Seriously?
Yep, football helmets have AC in them now, or a fan.
Getting soft.
Yeah, so
Getting
like
soft on the field.
so like I was watching, and like in Texas at a certain place, I can't remember where, obviously southern Texas, they're not allowed to have practice from any time from like 2 to 6 because it's too hot
Yeah,
out,
it's really
and
hot.
they have turf, so it's
Ugh.
like melting rubber
Yeah.
on your hands.
Extra hot.
So they have to have it in the morning or at night. And so what they did was, even though it's so blazing hot, some of the people are getting fans or some. I don't know if it's AC. I don't really think it could be AC, but it's like a
At least
fan.
moving air.
They have like
yeah.
they have a moving fan in the helmet now, so that way it can keep you a little bit cooler when you're out on the field, especially when it's that hot out.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Should do that for bowling. Just wear
Hey,
a fan
just threw
suit.
it out there.
Yeah.
Whichever shoe company wants to send us a prototype.
Well, the new 3Gs,
Well,
if
the
I
bottoms
saw
could
that
work.
right, they have a bunch of vents in them now. I think it's the 3Gs.
Matt, you're watching.
Yep.
Tell Kyle which
I think.
shoe
Well,
to
I
get.
think it was his picture that he sent me that they have a bunch of vents in them now.
Well, Kyle's
um,
gonna try my dad's shoes.
Yes. Yep. They're a little big, but I think they're better than the Dexters for sure.
I'm gonna keep mine. Austin's
right.
gonna keep his.
Well, you got the Brunswicks, not the Dexters.
Yeah, but we're gonna keep our shoes.
Yeah.
You're gonna change. We're gonna keep.
Sure.
Yeet.
All right. So you got the regional coming up this weekend. South Glens Falls, down Johnson 40. Practice tomorrow. How has your preparation been going?
So I haven't bowled since July.
Well, except for I mean, you've been bowling now, but
Right. So like
from July
before league,
to
like a
Labor
week
Day.
ago.
Yeah.
I had bowled like a total of 5 times.
Yeah.
If that. So coming back was bad. It was bad up until last night, and I'm praying to Jesus that tonight goes good.
Tonight's nothing though.
Oh, I don't
Unless
mind.
you're talking about feel and
I'm talking
Yeah.
more about like, hey, am I gonna come out of the ball? Am I gonna? Because I've been having some issues, and last night I was like, maybe I just watched an old video of myself, and it took me 7 minutes to figure out I started the ball a little bit later, and then I started flying out of it. But I also made 2 new thumbs because I was like, my thumb must be bad.
what's up, Joey D?
Yeah, Pokemon Go. If you want to friend me, I'll give you my friend code. Just put your friend code in the chat. We'll friend up. Anyways, yeah. So I do have to figure out what I'm gonna do, and I did feel pretty good last night, preparation wise. I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
How's your spare shooting?
Oh, that's okay. I had no problems on Sunday. So I'm
Last
not
week didn't
concerned
look
about that.
good.
Did you watch me Sunday?
No.
Sunday
we were
was-
too far apart.
Besides the 120 game where I had to go in the back and I threw like 8 splits and was trying to loft the gutter cap.
They were hooking.
Yes.
I can't imagine what they're going to be like up there with the different lane
Anywho.
surface.
Anywho, I will be making sure I make my spares. I don't think the scores are going to be too high because
No.
that place gets tricky pretty quick.
Yeah. They're not going to be that high.
So I think that
Or
plays in my
Saturday.
favor because I think if I can throw it bad and hit the head pin and leave 8, gives me a chance.
Tell us what your practice strategy is tomorrow.
Oh, I don't know.
So for anybody that
Hold on,
isn't
I'm just
familiar,
trying
well,
to
hang
think,
on.
like,
There's
what-
anybody that isn't familiar with the pro tournaments or the professional or the regionals, you get an hour of practice the day before, which is
2
tomorrow.
hours.
2 hours?
It's 2 hours tomorrow, 3 to 5. Now I got to check it.
God, I don't even remember now.
I think they switched because it has been an hour in the
It
past.
was an hour, wasn't it?
And I'm pretty sure this one's 3 to 5. Hold on, I got it.
Anyway, so
Utah.
you get
Utah.
that time, and then you can practice anywhere in the house. The first time I jumped around, and I was wasting a bunch of time.
3 to
Since
5.
then,
3
I
to 5
started to
practice.
just sit on a pair, and then maybe move, maybe not. But you tell us what your strategy is.
Since I've bowled pretty well there last time, and we bowled there enough to know kind of what the house characteristics
yeah,
are.
exactly.
I'm not too concerned with moving around because I don't get a lot of time to myself to practice. I'll probably just use it as like a normal practice session. I'll work on some spares. I'll probably walk in and shoot spares for about 15 minutes and just get loose. I'll make sure I'm taped up because I'm going to be looking like a football player this week because my wrist is hurting. And then I'll shoot spares for 15 minutes, make sure I'm warmed up. So after we do that, I'll probably grab a few other balls. I have an idea. Like I'm going to bring 2 strong balls in my mindset and speed because it is 30 milliliters. So I'm going to see if any of those 2 kind of roll well. And then I think I'm going to use my game breaker lineup this week. I don't think I'm going to need the stealth, but I'll find out tomorrow. So I'll throw those 2 balls, the mindset and the speed, to start off, just to see how they roll in the fresh. Then I'll go into my game breakers just to see if they're going to be transition or if they can be fresh balls. And just because the place generally hooks in the front part of the lane, I'll probably have some weaker equipment, Kinetic, Cobalt, Rattler, and then I'll probably throw in some shiny stuff here and there just to round out the bag. I'm hoping to walk in with 8 on Saturday and maybe 12 tomorrow. 12 tomorrow realistically, and then hopefully able to whittle it down to 8. I know 2 of them are going to be urethane for sure. So that leaves me one regular urethane that hooks and my spare urethane, and then I'll bring 6 resin balls, which we'll find out. But I do foresee myself sticking with a game breaker 2 and game breaker 4, and maybe I'll bring my defender. So, and I'll probably stay on 1 pair, see how my breakdown goes, because I'm not going to see a lot of it. I know the characteristics of the house, so I'm not too concerned with everything else. But I'd prefer to stay in urethane because I feel like if I can get the ball to roll out and hit the head pin, it'll be better for me.
So
we'll see.
So we got 75 players registered. That's 22 to the top third, which will move on to finals on Sunday. So we're hoping top 22 for A Scaccia.
We're hoping 21. I did see that the scores last time I believe we bowled on this, I was plus 45 out in Buffalo. This year they used the same pattern, if I recall correctly, and the cut was like 150 over. So I don't know if the pattern on paper is hard and they are going to be playing a little easier, because I feel like those 2 centers of Airport and this one are fairly close.
Yeah, they had do they have the really frictiony lanes out there when we went? I can't remember.
It looked like they were the boutique style lanes. Yeah, it did look like, I don't remember, but all I know is there's a lot of front hook, and I had to use a Power Torque Pearl, a Defender, and a Quantum Evo. So I probably will bring my Defender just because it worked last time, and then I'll see if I can get into urethane. But last time I was out there, urethane looked like garbage. Not at Glens Falls, but the last time I bowled this pattern. And that was about a year or 2 ago, so the pattern, they do change every year. So we'll just have to see what happens. 30 milliliters is a lot, so 240 grit, I don't know, 180.
All right. What's your expectations then, as far as I know you said 21, but where do you really want to go other than win? Where do you think you're going to qualify?
I don't know.
Not a lot of big names other than Newer, and Pete Fox is going to be there. You got Schaefer.
You're missing John Fury's going to be there.
Oh, I did see Fury on the list. You're right.
He's good. Paluzic's good.
Johnny Pants will be there.
Joey Pants, sorry.
Looking at different names here.
There's
Fury,
quite a few good players there. Schaefer, I believe, is bowling. I believe
there.
Leclerc is bowling. Tim Foy Jr. is bowling. That's just what I heard. I don't know if Leclerc is bowling. I haven't looked recently.
Oh yeah, Brian Leclerc. Yep.
But I know they got quite an influx, so I don't really look anymore.
Richard Martinez will be there.
RJ, the legend.
Billy McGaffin.
Realistically, I'm hoping to be 21. Hoping.
Ray Ponte.
Yeah, Ray is bowling. Yeah.
Ray Ponte's bowling.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Yep. So we do have a few guys from our tournament club who are going to go bowl up there. I think it's me, Alex Bolensteel, Ray Ponte. I don't know. Oh, and
Greg Tack will be there.
And Brett.
John
Brett's going to be
Wilbur.
there. Brett. His last name's blanking me. Brett Groff is going to be there, who is also in the tournament club. And we did bowl on it this weekend to give those guys who are bowling maybe a little bit of a practice.
Oh yeah, Brett Groff.
It's not going to be the same.
Warren
but at least they could bowl. Yeah, Warren is bowling. So there are some good players, and
Andrew
I'm hoping I can get to 21. I can't promise anything.
I'm having a little bit of FOMO, but I know how I'm feeling bowling wise right now, so I'm very much not bowling. So.
If there's a lot of hook out there, I'll be in trouble, but I think I've got a few balls that I plan on bringing that should take care of it. And if I'm throwing anything like I did last night, hopefully it'll be okay if I'm throwing it like last night. Like tonight, I'll find out if what I but what I did, what I remembered to do works. So
Good. Good.
We'll see what happens.
Good. All right, let's get into the PBA League. Good luck, by the way.
I'm gonna need it. Thank you so much.
We'll post the link on the Facebook and the Instagrams and whatever, so that you guys can follow Anthony's progress. Good batter.
Not sure how it's gonna go.
Your confidence is not helpful right now.
Well,
You need to be confident.
I will be confident after tomorrow, but today I just want to throw the ball halfway decent. So I'm only looking to do that tonight, and if I feel good there, we'll see what happens.
That's a good start.
I just want to throw if I throw it like dog crap, I want to throw it like dog crap all day, because then I can line up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm throwing it really good, which I was throwing it really good last night, I felt like I was. Then I need to throw it good, but that's the problem. If it's really good and then I throw it really bad, it's gonna be like a 4.
Yeah, like this past weekend, I didn't throw it good until the last 3 shots of the 10th frame.
Every game?
No.
Oh.
No, the last 10th frame.
Ah.
That was the best I threw it all day, and
That's
the best I've thrown it all year. So
that's when I threw 120.
Nice. All right. Well, good luck, and we'll move on to
Cheers.
the topic of the day, which is the PBA League. But before we do that, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel.
James White is saying, try your Strike Force shoes. KR Strike Force. KR Strike Force shoes.
I have not tried them yet.
They do have some nice styles out.
Yes.
Might be something to take a look at.
It is.
Or you're just going to stick with old reliable.
The 3Gs were always good to me, except for that the heels broke apart. That was the problem. Not the bottom of the heel, but the back of the heel. The white things kept going into the shoe, but maybe it's fixed with the new ones. We'll see.
Andrew, interesting thought. Aim for 10, rip it back from 3. I only look at 3, so it might work.
Like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Check out the Etsy shop. Email us at downlanepod@gmail.com. All right, let's get into it here. First and foremost, the big news of the week is that Billy O is not making it to Portland for the league. He has an undisclosed injury. Don't know what it is. And DJ Archer is now taking his spot on the team. So, thoughts? How is this going to affect
Team Dallas Strikers?
Yes. Sorry.
They won last year. And he wins every year.
So you got it was Tommy Jones, Bill O'Neill, Matt Ogle, Sean Maldonado, Chris Barnes. Now you got DJ Archer in there instead.
I think it makes a big difference.
I'd say.
I think I just think that with Billy O, him and Tommy are pretty close.
They're a freaking force.
Well, they're close in like gameplay too, like match play. The
Not
way they
match
bowl.
play, but yeah.
Not
Team
like,
play.
Yeah, like
Team
they could probably work together because they play kind of similar parts of the lane. Tommy, I feel like, plays a little straighter more often, if I recall correctly. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. Has been on bowling in a while. Any bowling at all? I haven't seen any bowling.
Other than the national championship of the Lucky Larson Masters in Sweden.
But like Tommy Jones, for example, him and Billo, I feel like they can really get close. Since they're not together, I think DJ's a little bit different of a bowler. He's a little bit more left. He's kind of in that two-hander zone because he's got that loft. So we'll have to see. Have to see what happens.
He's got that definitely a strange loft for sure. And
you think there's no urethane, but at freaking Glens Falls, urethane is always in play. Always.
Where did he say anything about urethane?
He said right there, Anthony, no urethane this weekend, Anthony. Yes, urethane, Deke. Trust me. I'm a saw on it.
Oh, no urethane this weekend. Sorry. His style of play is definitely a little bit different, but there are the two right-handed two-handers on that team, so he'll at least get to mesh with those guys, I suppose.
No, because they don't use a thumb.
I know they don't use a thumb, but they're at least in the same zone, I guess.
Listen, Kyle, I'm going to disagree with you. It's going to be a huge difference, and I just don't think that I mean, first of all, Bill O'Neill, he's a real deal. Now, DJ,
friend of the show, real deal, Bill O'Neill.
Good player, but he's just not. It's not
and he's
It's
just
not. It's
and he's not top tier. Let's just be honest. Like
that was
on
aggressive.
on the tour. Not I mean just it's not. I'm sorry.
That's aggressive, Kyle.
It knocks the level of that team down quite a bit.
I mean, I guess. I mean, you could
Every
have
one
either,
of those players has
here it is.
been monstrous.
Yeah,
and
you
he
could,
just hasn't.
You could realistically have Tommy Jones or Neil. Actually, at this point, you could probably have Ogle or Chris Barnes anchor. So like either way,
I think Tommy's always been their anchor.
well, he's always going to be the anchor. But
Yeah.
if you look at it for other teams, they have like 3 or 4 anchor players that could anchor on any other team almost. You know what I mean? They're
absolutely.
very
Yes.
good players. I
Strong
mean,
team.
you know, like some other teams, like for example, I don't know. I'm just gonna pick out like the Waco Wonders. I mean, there's only one guy that I'll let finish for me, and that's probably Parker Bone. You know, but if you put Barnes, you put O'Neal or TJ there, I'm probably gonna let any of those 3 anchor. And I'm missing somebody else on their team, which I can't remember.
Which team?
Ogle. I'll take Ogle
yeah.
anchor for me too. He's
Kidding
been
me?
hot this year. He's really rolling it good. He still needs to take me fishing. I did ask him, I'm like, hey man, you gotta take me on your boat. He's like, anytime. And I was like, you don't know who I am, but all right, dude, let's freaking get after it. But yeah, that team, I still think they're gonna be tough to beat though, because Archer can hold his own. I think he's not, like Kyle said, he might not be top tier, but he's definitely gonna be able to throw some strikes up there.
I agree. Do we want to get right into it, or do we want to cover like kind of who's on the teams, or do we want to do that while we kind of give our player rankings here?
You mean team rankings?
Team rankings.
I mean, we can do either or, Kyle. You're the host. I'm the assistant to the host.
All right. Yeah, I suppose everybody's probably got their teams if they were paying attention. They know who's on what.
We've got some time though, so if people aren't
Sure.
familiar, maybe you can highlight the teams.
Yeah. All right. So
or do you want to highlight teams as we go away? That's right. Maybe it might be easier that way. But then if we have different opinions, Kyle.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go over the teams real quick. We got Los Angeles LAX. You got Belmo, Butturf, Stu Williams, Kevin McCune, Thomas Larson. Obviously, one of the strongest teams that are on the league.
That's the international team.
Is that what we're calling it, or is that what they're calling it?
Well, I mean, you got Belmo, Larson, and Stu Williams.
They're all. Well,
I mean,
Stu's an American now.
Yeah, but he's from freaking
Pflugerville, Texas, man.
Yeah, but he's also he's English.
Yeah, good.
They got 3 of them there. I mean, 3 of them. That is the international team.
I believe you mean yes, 3. You're right. I can't count. Yeah, team passport.
Team passport.
Then you got the Dallas Strikers, which we already talked about. You got TJ, Bill O'Neal, Matt Ogle, Sean Maldonado, Chris Barnes. You could almost call that almost like your veteran team. There's a lot of vets on that team right there. Not Matt and Sean, but you got Chris. Bill O'Neal's not there anymore. DJ Archer, excuse me. Now it's DJ Archer, but he's a vet now.
He's a vet.
And then
Austin, nice job.
You got Tommy Jones, and then Lumberjacks, West Malott.
Lumberjacks home team of this event.
Yeah,
let's
talk about this for a minute. Okay, now that all right, now that you bring that up,
they're always
so
home.
you got the league in Portland, Maine. All right, I'm gonna have to put my phone down for a minute, gather my thoughts.
Okay, well, this team consists of Wes Malott, Chris Prather, Kyle Troop, Graham Bach, and Arturo Quintero.
All right, so listen,
who also lives up there now.
I know we've talked about this, but how can this league be a league at all with teams from different cities when there are no actual home teams, when there's only one home team at one venue and it doesn't even move, and it's only a week long?
I mean, it's kind of like the argument.
They're definitely using league in a vague concept.
Well, not really, because
it's 1 week long tournament.
That's a league. That can be counted as a league.
Okay, forget the word league. I guess what I'm getting at is you've got all of these teams, like from different quote unquote cities, and there's no home base. Like the Portland Lumberjacks should be from Bayside Bowl.
I get it. I get what you're saying,
yes.
But at the same time, like if you're actually going to do a league, I mean, who's going to pay these guys to go places?
I understand.
The PBA is going to
Bayside.
have to.
I'm just saying that's how it would work. That's how it would work. like
Bayside's gonna
the
pay the
owner-
players to move.
the owner of a football team.
Yeah, but the PBA owns these teams.
I understand,
It's not like
but maybe that's not how it should work. You have the NFL that owns the league,
You're a
right?
$1 billion corporation.
Okay, I'm making a
I
comparison.
understand what
The
you're
NFL
saying.
owns the league, and then it depends on how the teams are made up, but then you have the owners of the teams that are in the league, right? So then you have
But who's gonna own the bowl? I understand what you're saying, but like
Yeah.
it's not gonna make like the way they have it formatted. You can't make money
maybe
off of it.
you get Carolyn Doran Ballard to own instead of just being the manager.
I don't.
Maybe
think,
she owns the New York City Kingpins.
I think that if you're going to do it, it would need to be the bowling center would need to own its individual team.
Or they're
And I think that it would have to be like, I think what you would do is you would schedule your tour stops, and then this would
do a
probably
separate
shrink the league.
show.
It would probably shrink the league, but you would have a national event, and then you would have a team event.
That'd be interesting.
Okay. They need me out there, so I
Okay.
gotta go.
But still, what I'm getting at, I'll switch it to Austin, is that like you have this thing that's only a week long, and it doesn't actually. You still have like the Portland team, and then all of the Portland people cheering for everybody anyway. Belmo goes up and throws a strike for LA, and everybody's cheering because it's freaking Belmo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think also the Bayside Bowl, like the atmosphere there, isn't really hometown type
Right.
atmosphere.
Right.
It's like U.S. Open type atmosphere.
Yeah.
Without the quiet.
Yeah. And
But I do see where your point's come from. The only thing that I think of when you bring up that point is how are you going to make the draft more legit?
Well, and that's the other thing I was thinking about too, because why should there be a redraft, other than they do have their select players that they
I
keep
think
every
they can
year.
pick two, right?
They get to
two
pick
to
a couple of
franchise.
players that they franchise them, or whatever they
Whatever
call
you
it.
want to call them.
Yeah, and so they get to keep their couple players, and then they redraft everybody, which is weird. But what I was thinking was, and maybe I'm totally off base here, but stand by.
You gave me something, so I'm raising my hand.
We gave you what?
You gave me a thought.
Oh, hang on. So let me just.
So I'm saying
Yeah, you can stand by, young man.
I'm gonna
Just
think
hold
about it.
Hold
Go.
your
hands
hold your
up
horses.
until we get to you.
So on my drive over here, I was like, oh, what if? Now, of course, this would have to not work with what your idea was with having the league along with the tour.
Makes sense.
But on a totally separate side league, what if it's like a whole different slew of up and coming players? So like regional guys, for example, that get drafted,
So
drafted
It would be more like
every year into the league.
AAA type.
Right.
I feel like
See,
that's a
the
bad
only
idea.
Okay.
problem with that is who's paying the travel.
It's gonna have to be the managers. I don't know. They have to figure out how to fund this thing. I'm
Because
just saying,
most-
that's not my job to figure out how to
Most
fund it, Austin.
regional players
So for
can't just spend a week away.
Oh, I know, but the baseball players don't fund the
no,
their
AAA
travel.
baseball players make
No
almost
dollars,
no money.
but they also don't pay for their
they
travel.
got a raise,
Did they get a raise?
and they also get housing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They don't have to pay for their travel.
Yeah. No, but you do get housing now. Like when you're in the city, the organization, the MLBPA, organized a contract where minor leaguers have to get like 50 or 60,000 a year now, and they also get the
For a
housing paid
minimum.
for a minimum, and then their housing is paid
Was it
for.
not before? Wait, are you saying housing where they're
They live. They give them
like their
apartments
base?
they
Their base
where they're based
I
out of.
gotcha,
They do
okay,
get housing
gotcha,
while they're
gotcha,
there.
Gotcha.
So it has completely changed. So the thing I was thinking of is, I think it'd be more interesting if the ball companies did it,
Like made the league.
Yeah.
Okay.
because then you could have. Now it becomes a little bit more important on who signs with who.
So
that
well,
or
it could change the
make-
landscape
You
for the
could
players,
also make a
possibly.
manufacturers cup.
that's what you're saying is like instead of
you got-
having the mixed teams of all of the
Team
different-
Brunswick
you,
versus
right,
Team
you would have to have
T300 versus-
right.
You would have to have ample amount of staff players. Also, it spreads the players out between brands. Now I know they can still throw whatever, but when they're on the show, they can still throw whatever, but it still makes it up of their individual staff. So like if you're gonna do a Storm staff, you're gonna pick Belmo, Simonson, let's just say Kyle Troop. Moto's gonna have AJ Johnson, EJ Tackett, That's what I'm saying. So it makes it different. They're gonna have Tom
Yeah.
Smallwood.
Yeah.
There's probably Santu.
Spar,
They're gonna have Labor Spar and Santu. So each brand could have their own 5, or whatever it is, and then they could work it out that way. Where the bowling ball companies are now shipping them those individual players there. It also gives them a little more incentive to sign, to pay a little more attention to who they're signing, because then they can also market it a little differently when they're out there. Like we're using the top product. Like Motive just marketed, they won 40% of the PBA championships this year because EJ Tackett won every one and AJ Johnson won a pretend one. National stop at least. He still won. Like he definitely won a hard event.
He got a real trophy.
He definitely won a hard event, but it's not a national PBA stop. But anyways, I think it would be a little more interesting that way. And I know that people say, "Oh, well, Brunswick owns 7 and Motive," and then, but it makes each brand have to have its own face, like its own franchise player, and then it has to have supporting cast around it to be. So who's the best ball manufacturer in a sense? I guess you could try and do, because each one has its own line.
It's basically like NASCAR, or Formula One or whatever.
Yeah, you can have 11 teams. I mean, you know what I mean? It'd just be more interesting that way. You know what I mean? They could they would have to have their own players. So C300 would be Jacob Butter and whoever else the heck they have that I can't think of. But like Brunswick would have.
Is TJ still Columbia?
He's Ebonite.
Oh, Ebonite.
TJ is Ebonite.
I'm sorry. The E and the C get me confused.
Yeah, and then Brunswick could have their face is going to be Don Barrett. So like you have those franchise players on those staffs, and it would just be a little more interesting. And instead of having
then that way you're not like that way you could do it every tour stop, like you said. Although I'm sure that they would complain about how much they have to bowl. And
I'm not even that. Maybe they don't do it every tour
what I'm
stop.
getting
But I'm
at
just saying
is,
it makes it different.
But then you don't have these weird like city teams that have no ties to the cities whatsoever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no place they practice. There's no stadium where they bowl against other teams. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
If you make it ball manufacturer, maybe you make them throw the ball manufacturer's line. I do know that there.
Well, why wouldn't? Oh, only not. Yeah, like there's no crossover.
Yeah,
anymore.
no crossover. It's
maybe in the national tournament, fine.
Yeah, but when you're
bowling in the league,
it's got
all you get is that's not a bad idea. I like that.
And that way it will just you not only can the manufacturer showcase what they have, or maybe they could do sneak peeks. Like if they're not going to release a ball till they're going to have the Elias Cup this week, if they're going to have a ball released in January, we'll give the 5 guys a special. Hey, this is going to be our league ball. Like this is going to be our newest ball we're going to release in January, and they can showcase it there. And that way people actually get to see that ball on the lane versus, they're throwing the same balls over and over and they're crisscrossing between. I think it would be interesting. I think it'd be good because then it also makes players being signed a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then it's like, oh, did you see that Columbia just signed X or this guy and this guy? That's gonna make their team so good for the tour.
Anthony, you officially got your first good idea on the show because we've got 2 likes on this. 2 likes. Yeah. You got JD, you got James. They both like it.
Yeah, I think it'd just be a little more. it would be different, and then they have their ties to their company.
Yeah.
Which would make it more. It would just make it a little more competitive, I think, because I think that who you're bowling for, regardless of what people say, like you still want to perform for that company. So there's going to be a little bit more fire instead of, hey, I'm just bowling with 5 dudes, and let's see how we do.
Make that free, Andrew says.
So I think that's a better idea. And
what
then
do they call this going viral?
No, it's virus. But I think that's probably the way to go in the future. I think get rid of the names and get rid of the crossovers.
Make that 4. I like it.
Because then the manufacturers, like I said, it becomes a real team aspect where they need to try and go sign these guys if they want to be legit. Now, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just be like, we'll just leave it to the wayside, and it is what it is. I mean, Storm's got a crap ton of players.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they would do that.
They can only pick 5.
I mean, I guess
and that is also another reason for the players to, like, be the best, right?
I mean, I guess it depends on how much people really want to bowl it, too. Like, if you don't want to bowl it, you just go sign with somebody where it's like,
as long as there's extra money.
I don't want to. If there's extra money, yeah. And the manufacturers, do I know if they can really pay for these guys to go do that? They'd have to structure it. But I mean, if those guys are already going, it is what it is. Like, hey, you working in the contract, we're gonna pay you this, and you're gonna have to go here. So get the Saudis
involved. Thanks, Robert.
It might be pretty interesting though. We got those guys. But yeah, that would be my thought.
That's not a bad idea. I've almost nothing to say about that. I don't know how you would fit it in with the tour schedule, or you do with the extra summer schedule. I don't know, but
easy, make them bowl all year.
I'm with you there. Like, there's no
mean-
reason to settle down. Like,
mean-
golf does golf
How
all year
How
round.
strenuous,
it's different.
really, to bowl in the summer?
Yeah, but would you want to travel all year round for bowling?
I travel all
Listen.
week round.
Listen,
I know.
not for bowling.
I'm just saying though, like it's different. I mean, working is different because you get to go home. If these guys are traveling, they're in a hotel room. If they have
Well, yeah,
families,
but
it's different. It's a life
that
you
is work
chose.
for
Kyle
It
them.
was
is the
gonna say,
life
here we
you
go.
chose.
That
and
is work for them, though.
it's
I
their
understand.
job.
Their
Like,
money.
that's what they get. That's why do you think all these guys are still traveling now to go do their
Regionals?
clinics? No, their clinics, and yes, there are other side tournaments, because that's the only way that they can make money,
I understand.
because bowling doesn't pay them. So, and yeah, like James says, if I'm getting paid, then yes, I'm going to travel my butt off to go win tournaments or bowl in that league, that manufacturers cup, whatever we want to call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
I think the league is definitely an interesting idea. I think it needs to be changed, like we said. And I mean, maybe you don't add stuff into it, but it would eliminate the draft.
yeah, just let the companies.
It wouldn't really eliminate the draft because then, if you've got somebody who's up and coming and you're
Yeah,
like,
but the
hey,
companies can pick whoever they want. There's no reason for
That's
the draft.
okay.
The draft is silly because you're not actually
drafting
people. You're just putting
You're
them
just
back in a
picking
pool
names,
and you're
yeah.
repicking them. Putting them back in a pool and repicking them. It's just weird. It's just
Right.
it's odd.
I mean,
Anyway.
I just feel like just signing would just be like the NFL free agency. It might spark a little more interest.
Hey, so
Sorry.
I think we were on.
Chicago. We
Oh,
left
we got
off at the
Chicago.
Lumberjacks. Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
it's all
No,
right.
you're good.
You started.
I know.
I had to get the tangent over with.
No, so but that was a good tangent
That
because
was a great tangent.
I'm gonna have to email Mr. Clark with my good idea, even though he
Why don't we
ignores
just
me
get him
anytime I
back on
email.
the show next week.
So Chicago Breeze. Anybody get that one? Anybody get it? Because it's the
Steel City.
Windy City.
Isn't
Yeah.
it Steel City, Detroit?
Yes.
No, that's Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, Pittsburgh.
You guys are.
I was thinking Pittsburgh Steelers, and he said Detroit, so I just said yes. It was weird. So Chicago Breeze, clever. Dom Barrett, Tom Smallwood, Jake Peters, Kevin Williams, Thomas Coco. Coco. I don't know how to say his last name.
I think it's Keiko.
I believe they were saying Calco on the show, but I'm gonna not.
It's spelled.
I'm gonna
Thomas K.
I'm gonna pretend like I don't know how to say it.
Alright. Tom Clark on speed
So
dial. That's right.
not
Kyle's
a-
got him on speed dial.
Not a bad team, but not a spectacular team, I would say.
I think they should let Jason Couch be their anchor.
Probably the best player on the team. Dom Barrett's
good.
pretty good.
He's real good.
Hello, Governor. All right, New York City Kingpins. We got Marshall Kent, Darren Tang, Kyle Sherman, Michael Tang, Paggy Henryhan. By far the youngest team on the league. Maybe not by far, but it's pretty darn young. And you got brothers on there, which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
How well do you think they get along? Pretty good. I don't watch their videos.
Yeah, they definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, they're normal
I'd say
people.
they definitely
That doesn't mean anything. You could be brothers that don't get along well or don't compete together well.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just asking. I'm
I don't
asking the
know.
question.
I don't know how they usually bowl on a team together for other stuff. So I'm sure that they can communicate like normal people.
All right. Yeah, I do keep his pager number ready. Thank you, Andrew. Who do we got here? The Vegas High Rollers, another clever one. Francois Lavoie, Andrew Anderson, AJ Johnson, Matt Russo, Ildemaro Ruiz Jr.
How long did it take you to pronounce that?
I'm very
practicing.
very fluent-ish. Not at all. And Francois, very good. He's like the freaking stone face killer. Andrew Anderson, I want him to be good. Like, and obviously he's very good. He just it seems like he just can't break through a lot of times on TV. Although he has seems like he's been struggling
He's
this
not a
last year, I
consistent
think.
contender. Are you saying?
Yes.
He's kind of more of a streaky player.
Yeah. But I think in team events, people can
Loosen up or
both loosen up. Well, you can have it one way or the other. You can either loosen up or you can tighten up in team events. But a lot of times when you're good, you can kind of rely on your teammates and you can loosen up a little bit. And then, of course, you got AJ Johnson, very good. And
You've got an emotional player with the stone face killer. Talk about balancing the team.
You're
out.
right. You're absolutely right. All right, then the Pabst Blue Ribbon Milwaukee Pounders. Disgusting beer, by the way. It is so gross. Sean Rash, our buddy Dick Allen, AJ Chapman, Sean Livery-Spar, and Anthony
Brothers.
Livery-Spar, another brother team.
You think they get along well?
Those two are so
I like them.
but they're almost
I
like
gotta be
twins.
honest.
Are they twins?
For the first,
I don't know.
for the first like year I knew they existed, I thought they were the same person.
Right.
I do
Somebody tell me-
like
tell
they're
us if they're
kind of like
twins.
the bad boys because they got the gauges and the tats. You know, they're not the stereotypical bowler. You know what I mean? They're not
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
proper.
Which is kind of funny
Clean
because like Dick
shaven.
Allen's on that team.
Oh,
right?
that's perfect team for
So,
those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But then you got AJ Chapman, who seems like a
He's
pretty
just-
boy.
yeah,
All right. In the Atom Splitters, you got Chris Vi, Jesper Svensson, Tom Doherty, Santu.
Oh, another European or international team.
Yep.
Gosh darn.
And Richie Teese, another
Wonder if they
governor.
speak the same language.
Santu. I don't think
Just
so.
a joke.
But that's Tom Doherty's the only American. Wait,
Vi is
never
also
mind. Chris
American.
Vi.
What is wrong with you?
I
Today?
can't read. I never learned to read. Motown Muscle, that's the Detroit team. This team's no good. EJ Tackett, Anthony Simonson, Mitch Hoope, Sam Cooley, Nathan Bohr.
Yeah, that team's gross.
There's a couple of titles in that team.
Only a few. Can you recall any? It's been a few years.
Maybe only 10 this year. And then Waco Wonders, Parker Bone, Jason Sterner, BJ Moore, Ryan Simonelli, Frank Snodgrass.
Now, interestingly enough, I believe the Motown Muscle, all of them won this year, but Nathan Bohr. Mitch Hoope won.
Right, Mitch and Sam both
They
won
both
on the,
won the World Series,
but they won the
didn't
on the ones that weren't on TV, right?
Yeah,
That's
they
what I'm
won.
trying to
Yeah.
think of, yeah.
Well, Mitch, I think he won doubles with Packy, so it's half a title.
Is that all? I thought he won a singles tournament. Maybe I'm
I don't think so.
thinking
I
wrong.
think EJ and Simo won. The other guys did. So we're gonna rank these.
We're gonna
guys,
have to
right?
fact
Yeah.
check that one.
Ha.
Well, where are we starting? 1 or 0?
10 or 1. Yeah, so we're basically going to rank them 1 through 10. So I guess 1 is who we think is going to win the cup.
Why can I not look at the 2022 or 2023 stats?
I don't know.
PBA site.
Oh, because you want to talk about the PBA site real quick?
I was
You
just
wanna get
looking
me-
up
you
to
wanna
see
get me
if
started?
won
No.
last year.
You want to
we
get me
have-
started on another rant?
Kyle, we have 10 minutes. We gotta. do a
If
ranking.
you guys want to go to the PBA website and look up stats real quick,
Yeah.
you can look up titles up until 2020.
That's it.
You can't look up 21, 22, 23.
They don't even have.
They
his
don't have
average.
championships for the last 3 years.
I bet you they have it.
It's not for the public to see. You want to know where you can find them? Wikipedia.
So
It's ridiculous. The PBA's
he
website is horrible.
So if I
it
change
was
the
just
winners,
the Roth Bowman doubles.
yes. If I change,
Let me guess. You checked Wikipedia, didn't you?
So the funny thing is,
It's
Kyle,
horrible. It's
It
disgusting.
says it
They are a
underneath.
PB. They are
they're a PBA.
a professional sports organization that doesn't have a decent website. Do you think this would happen in any other sport?
Pickleball.
They probably have all of their national championships on there for all of their players. It's horrible. I'm sorry.
Anyways, let's
I'm sorry.
let's get to ranking these, Austin. Let's forget about whatever Kyle's talking about because he'll go.
I've already
on.
screamed about it before, but it's been 3 years
3.
since the last update.
Put that in your email to Tom Clark.
Hey, Andrew, I am old. Screw off.
I had
It
AIM.
took you 10 minutes. To say that.
Now where are we starting, Kyle? We
You want to know how
starting
old I am? My AIM handle was Wrestling 101.
on- So are we
Mine
doing?
was my name because I was regular.
So are we doing? Are we gonna do everybody here?
Yeah,
'Cause that's a lot.
10 to 1. 10 to 1.
All right, number 10 for me. Kingpins.
Ooh. Going for the young team, huh? Oh, Andrew, you bastard! No, I'm not that old.
I don't particularly. I just don't particularly care for the team.
Whoa! Ouch! Those were fighting words.
I just said I don't care for the team. I just think there's better teams out there.
Okay.
They don't particularly stand out to me.
Mhm.
They don't really. I mean, maybe I missed a team in here, but it's just a team that I just like. I like the guys, but I just don't. I think the other teams have some better faces.
Yeah, I put the high rollers at 10.
Wow.
That's aggressive.
Wow, you are aggressive.
I think that team's actually fairly good, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I'm going Waco Wonders. I love Parker Bone. He's a great man. I think he's held down by the rest of the team, to be honest with you.
That's kind of mean.
Wait, how
That,
serious,
you thought
how
I was
serious are we
aggressive.
taking this? What are we putting on this?
I don't know, because I don't know how we're gonna actually
I think I'm
get
2-0
this
in
figured
events.
out. But
It's whoever comes in first, second, third. It's just total pinfall and who wins the tournament.
all right. Oh, the other thing I'm gonna do is assume that.
So, anyways, I don't even see the Waco Wonders on my sheet.
They're on there.
They not
All right,
great.
so then I'm gonna go number 9. I'm gonna
Oh.
go Kingpins.
Well, I can't see the bottom teams.
Yeah,
It's because I
you can't.
turned
Yeah,
it.
you can't turn it.
Waco Wonders. That's another. Well, I like. They got a few lefties on the team, so.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I put them last.
Oh, so you went Kingpin with second, and also who you going with in ninth?
The Milwaukee Pounders.
Ooh, that's our friend. That is our friend.
I am going to say my next team that I will pick to be 8th, 9th is going to be the I'm gonna put on there. Who'd you put, Kyle?
For 9th, I put Kingpins.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to do the Waco Wonders. Unfortunately, I wanted to put them number 1 because they had the most lefties, but I my brain doesn't move this fast. So it's
My list is going to look so different. compared to both
very.
yours.
It's because
very
you were
hard.
supposed to do some sort of research before we
I
started.
did, but there's just a lot of
See, I
people
got-
here.
Yeah.
I
There's
got to
a lot
write
of
my
people.
notes. The whole
Oh,
list.
Austin's got his notes.
Austin, then give us
Austin got notes.
give us a reason your next pick and the reason why.
Oh, hold on a second. I gotta see something.
Oh, now he's all of a sudden slowing down.
I mean, I've watched AJ Chapman make a lot of mistakes on the TV.
On the YouTubes.
So that and Sean Rash, past couple of years, pin carry hasn't been the best.
And he's a complainer.
So yeah, that's
He's been
why I'm-
injured.
That's
Oh, he
two
has
out
been
of
injured. That's
that's
true.
2 out of
Good point.
5 that I'm questioning whether they'll be able to strike twice in a game. So
This is really hard. Okay. So whose turn is it?
Oh, it's all of our turns to go number 8.
doesn't matter.
Austin, who are you picking?
For number 8,
Yeah.
Number
my
8.
phone locked. Hold on.
All right. Number 8 for me is going to be the Pounders. I actually wanted to put them a little higher. They just don't have enough firepower for me. I want to make them higher because I feel like these guys are gonna mesh because I feel like they're just gonna have a good old time, grab a few brews, and just make it happen. But I can't put them higher because I just don't know the format. Are they allowed to have a good time? I mean, if I'm gonna go party, this team looks like a good time. So I would probably, they're number 1 on
That's
the
a-
party team.
That is a good point.
But right now, I just, if they start drinking or if they're allowed to,
I don't think so.
you can move them up to number 1 for me. But right now, we're gonna put them in 8.
Every time we hang out with anybody and we're like, you want a beer? And they're like, I can't.
They're
do
not
that."
supposed to.
Yeah.
I get it. But who are you
Yeah.
going, Kyle? Who's number 8 for you?
Oh, this is tough. They've been doing okay. Did I already pick them? I did. Shoot.
You're supposed to come prepared.
I know I'm not.
Well, I have number 7. Do you want me to go ahead of you?
No.
Telling me I'm the only one to the list right now.
Yeah.
My list is pretty good. I got it now. The first few teams are tough, but once you know who's where,
All right, so I went
Uh,
with the Chicago Breeze. for
tell us
number
why.
8.
Tell us why.
There's no reason.
Okay. I don't like the name of the team.
I hate the name of the team.
If I had to make a reason,
Why don't they call it the Hurricanes?
if I had to make a reason,
I mean, you don't have Hurricanes there, I guess.
Jake Peters too nice.
I like
Wow.
Jake Peters a lot. I like his game a lot.
Oh, I do too. He's just very nice.
Oh,
So for number 8, I'm also going Pounders.
me and Kyle
I
right
think
there.
the I think the bottom half of the team is very young, and Sean Rash again injured some of the times.
Holman will step in.
Dick Allen did not have a great year this year, so that's ultimately I don't think that they've been.
I feel like he
very
didn't bowl that
great.
much this year.
I don't know.
No, he bowled. He just didn't have a great year.
I don't know. I kind of like their team. So they can put it together. I mean, I think Sean is a good anchor, and I think Chapman is a lot more improved than he's been. So, and the Levery Spar, they're all grinders. I watched them bowl. I bowled next to one of them. I don't know which one it is. He only smashed a chair or two. And
You were next to Kyle.
I was next to Kyle.
I was
Kyle,
well behaved.
Yeah, this guy smashed a chair. He hit it. But I do know that I think they could do better. I think it just depends on how good old Richard bowls. I guess I think the Levery Spars will be grinders. He's a grinder though, Dick. So he'll be close. And they'll have a good time.
Yep.
But who do you got at 7, Austin?
The Atom Splitters.
Okay. For me, for number 7, I think I'm going to go with the Breeze here. Because no, you know what? No, I'm gonna go with the High Rollers. Put the High Rollers there for me. Kyle's mad at me. Put the High Rollers there. I don't think I think AJ is their anchor, but Frankie didn't have a great year this year. I don't believe. Anderson, he's up and down. So I feel like the other Russo is good as a lefty too. But I feel like they're just a little bit behind in firepower here. And I do like the Breeze a lot more. So we're gonna go High Rollers in whatever position I'm up in.
And I'm going Breeze for number 7.
Okay, Kyle's going Breeze.
And then I'll
Basically I'm going from the bottom up.
yes, and then I'll go number 6.
There we go, Kyle.
Number 6. This is where you're all gonna hate me, but
Don't do it.
this is where I'm putting the Strikers.
Oh, I thought
That's kind of low.
I hear you, but I think today's news is definitely going to hurt these guys big time. And who knows how this team's going to mesh? And I think it could
I'm gonna
be.
blow you guys away with my pick.
Okay, well then you go, Austin.
No. Whoa. Wow. LAX in position number 6.
I know it's not a good choice.
Explain yourself.
But I don't see enough of Kevin McCune or Thomas Larson.
Okay, first of all, Thomas Larson is sick.
He's
He's
very
also
good.
6'5" and jacked.
Everyone in this league is sick, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
That's true. And I think
Kevin
that
McCune
McCune
did
is.
win, and he's like what 24?
I think they're bowling on 5-1.
Probably. I don't know. I don't.
I'm sure that
pattern is.
McCune
Yeah.
will have.
Yeah, he'll mash.
Will crush. I don't know. Listen, hey,
Dude,
I'm
got Belmo.
I'm proud of you for that decision. I'm
Butter,
proud of you to do it.
I think
Hey,
honestly,
someone's got to go against the grain.
I think the biggest hang up here is Stu. You know what I mean? And
I got to be honest. I think the last PBA League, he was almost 100% strikes.
was he really?
Yeah.
And Andrew says that Richie's going to be doing the dick twist all the way to the finals.
Yeah, go back to there. Okay, so I'm in the middle here.
Yeah, you're up for number 6.
Wait, did you do the Strikers already?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said I'm putting them down already because I think the DJ Archer is that's gonna hurt. I don't know if they're gonna have the.
That's aggressive.
The
I'm
team
going
mesh.
with the Lumberjacks.
Even though the team is all showing up tomorrow to meet each other for the first time.
I'm going to go with the Lumberjacks in 6. Wes Malat has had a back injury. Prather has had a wrist injury.
Richard's had the wrist injury for his whole career.
No, he dislocated it this
I'm
year.
just- I'm being,
Troop didn't have an
facetious.
extremely great year. I clicked that on the text.
Yeah, I wish I could look up the earnings, but
Grandfather, we don't really hear much of Graham.
No, you don't hear much from him, and Arturo's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's his home building, so he'll know how they play. But I just don't think.
Think of it.
I mean, they did come in second last year, but they had Packy on the team and a lot of different players. So for me, they're going to be in 6, and now we're going to 5, and I think this is going to be an interesting one here. I'm going to go with the. Such a tough pick. You go first.
This is where I put the high rollers right here. You got Francois Lava, who is, he's a staple. He's stone faced McGee, but the rest of the team is, a little questionable. Andrew Anderson's very good, but very young. AJ Johnson, I think.
There's no way Anderson is young. He's gonna be my age.
I think he's younger than you, but Maybe it's just his baby face that throws me off.
Okay.
But AJ Johnson, maybe with his quote unquote first win,
Hey, that might have broke the spell.
that's what I'm saying. Maybe he's gonna bowl a lot better now. But I still think that they're not gonna do much better than fifth here.
So Austin, you're going with the Motown Muscle in your fifth
yeah.
position.
Yep.
Why is that?
I had reasons for this, but I didn't type it in.
For me, I'm going to go with the Atom Splitters.
Oh, Motown Muscle.
Yeah.
Too much firepower.
Okay.
Too much firepower.
Yes.
I'm going to go with the Atom Splitters for me
Sorry.
in 5.
Too much firepower.
Correct.
They're going to destroy the lane.
I was confused by what that really meant.
They have a combined rev rate of like 3,000.
3 million. I'm
30
going
bazillion.
I'm going with the Atom Splitters. I like Jesper, Doderi, Santu, and I like Richie Teese. I think they're going to mesh well together. Honestly, they could go a little bit lower, but I feel like they're going to make it happen as a team. They look like a fun team, a great heck of an accent of a team. So I think that Mark Baker's going to have just the right amount of communication skills with all them, and I think it should be a pretty good. What are you laughing at? It's gonna be a pretty good matchup. You got the Wonders that high, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
The Wonders. They got the lefties on the team.
Listen, you gotta
BJ
be
Moore.
different. You got to be different.
And you like BJ Moore.
I do love
You love
Moore.
BJ Moore.
If I could release the ball,
So far off. It's
Team
not even
manager
close.
Johnny Petraglia, you think he brings his cool over to this team? A fellow
Yeah, I
lefty?
mean,
It's terrible. I don't know.
I mean, I got Jason Sterner, Ryan Simonelli. I mean, guys that are
Parker, BJ.
yeah, Parker. I mean,
It's Team Brunswick basically with Frank on the
hey,
team too.
All I gotta say is, if Parker's striking, everyone's in trouble.
Buddy Parker will strike. He's good. All right, what number am I on so I can announce my pick?
You're on 4.
Number 4. Who do I got left? I got the LAX. I've got the Motown Muscle. I've got the Dallas Strikers and the Breeze. I'm going with the Dallas Strikers in position number 4. I think they could probably sneak into 3, but without Billy O, I think they're going to be the 4 position. There's a lot of really good players there. I could definitely see them winning this thing. They're in my hit list. I think teams for me in 4-1 are in the hit list. Like I could see them winning. The guys below, I'm not sure. We'll see. I think their transition is going to be pretty good. DJ Archer will be the X factor for the team though this week.
I'm going Lumberjacks here, number 4. You got Wes Malott, who has immense talent. He is hurt though, with his I believe it's his back. Right? He was on TV, barely able to throw the ball, but it was impressive to watch. And then and not just talent, but just knowledge of the game. He's just super, super good. And then obviously Chris Kyle. That's a team. That is a super, super good team. But
Who'd you pick?
Lumberjacks for number 4.
I was actually quite the opposite. I thought they were a little lackluster this year.
They're lackluster.
All right.
Yeah, but they've had some weeks off. Okay.
Their healed injury reserve is good. In number 3 for me, Austin's going with the Strikers in number 3. Norm Duke is the team manager. Now, the funny thing was, why didn't he come out and do manager player like last year?
Oh, instead of picking, because he said he retired. He's sticking with his word.
Good for him.
He's keeping his word.
He's not like Timmy Bradley, huh? Tom Brady.
Oh,
Jesus.
why would I know what that means?
Who do you got, Kyle?
I don't remember who I have left. I've got
All right.
Pounders left.
I know who I want in 3.
Muscle left, rather.
In
I've got
3,
LAX,
I'm going to go with LAX.
and Adam Splitters. Okay.
For me, the LAX are really good. They're also within my hitter. I think Stu and Kevin McCune are going to be the X factors. I think the Jake Larson and Belmo are going to be kind of your guys. You got Belmo at the anchor, one of the greats. I think it all depends on how Stu and McCune do. I think McCune will be fine, but if they're hooking pretty good, I feel like Stu's going to be good, and also McCune. But if they're a little tighter, I think McCune might struggle. But if they're on a 5-1, I think they've got plenty of firepower to get Hook in there. So we'll see. They're not number 3.
I got Adam Splitters. Adam Splitters. You got Chris Vi, Jesper Svensson. I mean, are you kidding me?
Wow, I had them a lot lower.
Yeah, were you nuts?
No.
I had him even lower than you did.
It's a lot of double-handedness that's going on
There's
there, though.
There's a big jump. My number 2 team, I think most of our ones will be the same, but my 2, you guys are like, what the heck? I've got the Chicago Breeze at number 2. I'm feeling it. They got Dom. I like Dom. I like Peters. I like Kevin
I
Williams.
think you guys would be surprised with mine.
I think Breeze is the Breeze team with Jason Couch as the team manager. He'll get those guys fired up, and they're going to play good.
Okay. I think my last two are too easy to pick. It's LAX number 2. Obviously, I mean, come on, Belmonte, Buttriff. It's just too easy to pick.
Kingpins are number 2 for you,
Young Guns, baby.
buddy. Good for you on that pick. I mean, I think we at number 2. It's interesting because me and Austin, he had the Breeze low. I had the Kingpins as my worst team, and now both of them are. We have a flip flop where both of them are 2s. LAX for me is definitely a good team to pick. I'm gonna have them at number 3. I think they've got a little bit to see what happens. They've got a little bit of
easy to root for.
Who?
The
Kingpins?
LAX. They're
LAX.
easy to root for.
I guess so.
I would say I would say for you, Breeze is maybe a little high, but Don Barrett's really good. Tom Smallwood's obviously good. The other guys are a little.
Jake Peters is very good. Kevin Williams. When Kevin Williams has got it, and guess who did really well last year in this tournament? Packy Hanrahan. Packy bowled last year on the Lumberjacks.
Packy's where? Packy's on Kingpins.
Yeah, he's not anymore. He was on the Lumberjacks last year, and they won. He was their leadoff player.
Yeah, I was talking about the Breeze, dude.
And who's two-handed lefty?
Oh, okay.
Kevin Williams. I think Williams is going to have a good year because they're both left-handed two-handers.
I understand, but that doesn't mean they're the same person. No,
but they're going to listen, everybody says left is wall, they're not. And so now when I try to throw in like, hey, if the left is good, two-hander, it's going to be good. I definitely see the Breeze being good. I think they have plenty of firepower, and I like the way Keiko throws it. He's also a two-hander, if I remember correctly, and he's got freaking accents in his name.
So you two had to go and pick the same team for number 1, huh?
It's just obvious.
Dude, how can you not go with the top 2 players in the world?
Mitch Hoop, who won this year, Sam Cooley, who is also insane, and then their weak guys, Nathan Bohr, and he's
firepower.
He's lowered. He's a lot lower than the other guys on the list, but he's still. I know who he is, so he's a pretty good player, and he bowls a lot of tour. So
I went with the wild card,
the Lumberjacks.
And there's one reason
they won last year.
One single reason: Tim Mack.
Tim Mack's good, man. He obviously knows what the heck he's talking about.
I've never seen a coach get so animated over his team.
Yeah,
as Tim Mack does.
I get what you're saying, but I just don't think the firepower is there. I think you still gotta have the firepower, brother. Correct. I mean, how can you go get smoke?
If I switched Kingpins and Lumberjacks, they're interchangeable for me because they're both wild card shots.
Kingpin, I don't know. I don't like your Kingpins pick. I'm sure people don't like my Breeze pick, but the Kingpins for me, they have never been good in the past few years. So I'm not ready to see them be good yet. It's kind of like the Jets, or the Browns.
I would say
Lions.
Since it's a
JD is 100% correct. He said the muscle is the SEC of PBA League. The team is stacked.
It definitely is, and I know where Austin's coming from. They're all young guns. They're looking to make a name for themselves.
The other thing I'm thinking about too is imagine being young guns. Imagine the different echelon of players they've bowled throughout their youth career in team events.
Mm-hmm.
They're used to this.
Yeah.
The older guys, I don't think. I mean, listen, I'm pretty young, so 20, 30 years ago, I'm not paying attention to PBA. I'd almost promise there wasn't any team events, any big team events.
Maybe on the PBA. So there were big team events, though. The Brunswick Team Challenge were enormous, and people came all over the world to bowl those.
And obviously, the majority of these guys all bowled in college, too. So that was, dude, that college team bowling is probably one of the best experiences, that these guys had, at least that I had, so that I assume that these guys enjoyed it too. And a lot of these guys obviously bowl Team USA, which is also team bowling. So
not a lot of them, like 5 of them.
What's that?
How many really are on Team USA? 5?
No, I'm just saying.
I
guess I shouldn't say a lot of them are on Team USA, but many of the bowlers that are bowling in league are also
have done it before.
Are not currently bowling, but yes, have been on Team USA at one point or another. Meaning that they've all experienced,
Team Canada.
This or yes, their national team. Right. So they've experienced that 5-man experience so they bowled the 5-man team, and they've bowled Bakers and all that stuff. So it's a fun experience. It really is.
Definitely should be a good week, and we'll have to see where our power rankings rank.
Yeah, where we end up next week, a week from today.
Hey, aren't you guys bowling each other tonight?
We are. I was going to say.
Crap. Forgot.
We're gonna do me and Kyle's combined score. If you can guess
Oh,
it
yeah.
within
You get a
10
lab
pins,
shirt.
you get a lab shirt. I'll buy you a lab shirt. We'll send it to you.
Combined series.
Combined series together. So if I shoot 1,200 and Kyle
series.
shoots 0, which could happen.
4-game
'Cause-
series.
How do they get the guesses in?
Right now, they're gonna guess right now on our comment feed.
You guys have to comment right now before we log off.
That's right.
What our combined total 4 games. So whatever, it doesn't matter what you think I'm going to shoot or Anthony's going to shoot, but
Just
you have to combine our 4 games. We bowl on a house shot. It is not a hard shot.
For me, it
You
is.
can also guess on the live comments
So we both average around
towards the end of
225, 230 on average. So take that for what it's worth and figure out what we might shoot tonight for 4 games each, and just give us the combined total. And whoever.
What's your average right now?
I didn't look.
Mine's 220. So that's
Mine's
just
probably close to that.
Kyle's 220. So right around 220 a guy. So everybody has a reference. Is that me?
No, I'm
Guess
just
we're
rocking
all
back
at
and forth.
220.
Yeah, I had a really bad week last week. All right. Well, we are well over an hour.
Thanks for hanging with us.
So thanks for watching, and don't forget to tune in next week when we go over where we are at with our team rankings of the PBA League, and I believe the Elias Cup is next weekend on FS1.
And how Anthony did at the regional.
And we will cover Anthony's regional experience. Hopefully he's got his W under his belt. Screw you, Andrew.
Wow. Lanes are going to be tough tonight.
Tough. That's a good score.
The way last week went, I'll take 860.
1840 is 9.
All right, guys.
870 a minute.
Well, it is time for us to go bowling, so don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. We are only 5 subscriptions away from 2,000, so please don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube. And if you cannot watch on YouTube, you can always download and listen on your favorite podcast outlet like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., etc. You can catch us on Facebook, Instagram, or the X, and formerly known as Twitter. Really? Is everything going to be subscription based?
This
Get rid
year
of
it's gonna be.
bots,
You're gonna have to pay for it.
He says
No matter what?
His quote was something along the lines of, it could be 5 cents, it could be more than 5 cents.
Cool.
Just enough to stop the bot accounts.
Oh, okay. So let's see. Check out the Etsy shop. All of the links are in the show notes. And if you want to talk to us, you can email us at downlanepod@gmail.com. Thank you to Austin Van Buren, the producer.
Called you Angry Elf. Yeah.
Who's that?
Andrew K, baby.
That's
Kyle
my,
needs a shirt.
how do you know my nickname? Good show, Ant.
Okay.
Thank you to my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan.
Jam bread.
Thank you. Your dad,
I was going to say,
Jack
I
Scaccia,
forgot Jack.
proprietor of Town Country
He's
Lanes.
sleeping right now.
We will see you guys next week. This is Down Lane Podcast.